The night of reflection, the genesis of philosophy. Have you ever sat quietly in the stillness of a rainy night, or perhaps under a starless sky, wondering about the meaning of it all? Why do we exist? What is the purpose behind everything around us, and where did it all come from? Is there a divine force, or did it all emerge from nothingness? These contemplations have long been the start of philosophical thought, a way of grappling with the confusion of life and the pursuit of truth and knowledge. However, it is crucial to recognize that the search for answers to such profound questions did not start with philosophy. Long before philosophy as we know it emerged, humans turned to myths to find explanations. Take the Greek myth of Prometheus, the titan who created humanity from clay and gave them fire to survive. Or the Norse myth of Ymir, from whose body the world was formed, and from whose flesh humans were created and given life by the gods. Myths have always attempted to answer fundamental questions about existence and the universe. So what caused humanity to shift from mythological explanations to philosophical inquiry? What led to this intellectual revolution? In the 6th and 5th centuries BCE, the world experienced a remarkable intellectual awakening. In the East, philosophies like Buddhism and Jainism emerged, rejecting the absolute authority of sacred texts and rituals. These traditions sought to understand reality and existence through reason, rather than relying heavily on myths. Similarly, in China, Confucianism and Taoism questioned the nature of reality and the harmony within it. In the West, however, a different kind of intellectual shift began. Specifically in Ionia, a region on the coast of Asia Minor, a new approach to understanding the world was born. Ionia, a hub of international trade, became the center of cultural exchange between Egypt, Phoenicia, Persia, and other civilizations. As these diverse cultures and ideas intermingled, the answers to the age-old questions of existence and the universe began to diverge. In Egypt, the creation of humanity was attributed to the gods Atum or Ra, who formed humans from the primordial waters. In Persia, humans were seen as part of the grand design of Ahura Mazda, created to battle evil. In Greece, myths like that of Prometheus provided their own answers. However, these mythological answers began to appear inconsistent and increasingly inadequate to explain the natural world. Consider, for example, the myth that thunder is the wrath of Zeus, or that earthquakes are divine punishment. As people began observing the natural world more closely, they noticed patterns in natural phenomena that didn't align with these myths. This observation led to the use of rational thinking and direct observation to make sense of the world, marking the beginning of philosophy. The early philosophers of Ionia, like Thales of Miletus, were the first to turn away from mythological explanations and embrace rational thought. Thales, observing the world around him, saw that water was essential for life. It nourished plants, animals, and humans. From this observation, he proposed that water was the fundamental principle of all things, the origin of everything in the world. This was the birth of metaphysics, the branch of philosophy concerned with understanding the nature of reality and existence. Unlike myth, philosophy demanded that explanations be grounded in reason and evidence. Thales' ideas sparked further inquiry, and his student Anaximander expanded upon them by introducing the concept of Apeiron, the boundless or infinite. He argued that water alone could not explain the vast diversity and opposition seen in the world. How could something as uniform as water account for elements like fire, air, or earth? So Anaximander proposed a more abstract principle, Apeiron, as the fundamental source of everything. This marked a significant leap forward in philosophical thinking, moving beyond material elements to abstract concepts. Heraclitus, another key figure in this intellectual revolution, believed that the world is in a constant state of flux. His famous statement, "You cannot step into the same river twice, encapsulated his view that change is the essence of reality. For Heraclitus, fire symbolized this unending process of change, representing the continuous transformation of the world. He saw the universe as a place where opposites like heat and cold, life and death, war and peace are not in contradiction, but rather complement each other. This idea of the unity of opposites was groundbreaking and provided a more dynamic understanding of the universe where nothing is static. Thus, philosophy began to ask not only about the origins of the world, but also how humans should live in it. Through rational thought and observation, humans began to question not just the nature of reality, but also their own actions and ethics. Philosophy required that one not simply accept answers, but instead challenge them using reason and evidence to form deeper understanding. This approach was continued by Thales' successors, Anaximander and Heraclitus, who sought to answer profound questions about the nature of reality. They moved beyond myths, using logos, reason and observation, to understand the universe. Thales, for example, who hailed from Miletus, observed the importance of water in life and proposed that it was the fundamental substance that underpinned all existence. This theory, though seemingly simple, was a monumental step in rejecting myth and offering a rational explanation for the world. Thales' ability to predict a solar eclipse around 585 BCE was an astounding achievement that required deep observation and a keen understanding of the natural world. He also contributed significantly to the field of mathematics with theories that are still taught today, such as the basic geometric principle that the diameter of a circle divides it into two equal halves. Yet while Thales viewed water as the essential principle of existence, his ideas were not without criticism. Anaximander, his student, disagreed with the notion that water could explain everything in the universe. He argued that the universe contains many elements in opposition to each other, such as fire and water or dry and wet, and these cannot be explained by a single substance. Thus, Anaximander introduced the concept of Apeiron, an infinite and undefined principle that could account for both unity and diversity in the cosmos. Heraclitus, in turn, rejected the idea of a static universe. For him, everything is in constant change. He believed that the fundamental nature of the universe is transformation, symbolized by fire, which is always burning, changing, and renewing itself. He saw the universe as a dynamic system where opposites coexist and depend on each other: war and peace, life and death, light and dark. Philosophy, therefore, is not only about asking questions about existence, but also about understanding how we should live in the world. It challenges us to think critically, to question everything, and to evaluate ideas carefully. As we observe the world around us, we engage in the philosophical act of reasoning and inquiry. As philosophy developed, thinkers like Socrates brought it back to the human level, asking questions about ethics, what is right and wrong in human behavior. Unlike the early philosophers who focused on the cosmos and existence, Socrates turned his attention to how we should live and behave. His questions about ethics and virtue would influence generations of thinkers, including his student Plato, and set the stage for the development of Western philosophy. In the end, philosophy is not just an academic subject. It is a reflection of our deepest thoughts about life, existence, and meaning. Every time we sit and reflect on the mysteries of life, we are participating in a conversation that has been ongoing for thousands of years, exploring the questions that define the human condition.